Newcastle, Barcelona, it's got a special ring to it. It's obviously a historic fixture. We've seen it here in the past, the Asprilla hat-trick. How much are you looking forward to leading out your team in this game ahead of a new Champions League campaign?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it is a historic fixture. I think it's one that as soon as we realised we were drawn against Barcelona, it had a sort of a magical feel to it. I think it'll be an amazing game to experience. Yeah, obviously we've been focusing on the tactical preparation and making sure we deliver a good performance. And I'm really excited to sample the atmosphere. I think that will just be an incredible thing again.
Damien?
Maybe 2 seasons ago, the PSG game here sort of set the benchmark for you. Would you like tomorrow night to do the same for you again?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's things we can certainly take from that game, but of course there's things we can take from that experience, the whole thing. Ultimately, we didn't progress beyond the group stage. That was a big disappointment. So I think we can use those experiences to help us. I think for this individual game, which is all we can focus on, is trying to get a positive result, is trying to prepare the players for the game. We've in part done that yesterday and today, and we've still got some preparations to finish off. I'm looking forward to seeing how we play against them and how we match up as a team. Certainly a lot of confidence now restored to the group, having won on Saturday.
We got to Luke, Mark and Chris, please. Luke?
You said you learned lessons from the last Champions League campaign 2 years ago. What makes you think you're better equipped this time around to deal with it?
Well, I think that experience in part, just the size and the magnitude of those games, everything that goes into a Champions League game, it is different from the Premier League. The build-up's different, the feel's different. So I think having done that before can certainly help us again. I think the squad that is arguably stronger, I don't know. You could always make a debate either way. Of course, the squad has changed from 2 years ago, so it's a different squad. And I think, I back the quality that we have. Certainly the tough games, it's a tough looking fixture list for us, and I think the early games are really important because they set the foundation and they set the tone. That's why we're really focusing on our performance and trying to deliver a good one.
Mark?
Maybe there's a sense that last time it was a fantastic experience to be part of the Champions League, but I'm assuming this time the focus is very much on getting through to the next round, especially with the format changing.
Yeah, I think, as I said, that there was a lot of unknowns last time, and yes, the focus was always on trying to get through the group stage, but there was a feeling that we were sampling it all new, and we enjoyed it, but ultimately we did fail. So I think this time the resolve is stronger to try and progress and not just enjoy the experience, but try and make it a meaningful one. I think we've done that historically in the past, from learning from different things and then trying to add layers, whether that's our preparation or our general performance, and we'll try to do so again.
Anthony Gordon obviously has been suspended for the last couple of Premier League matches. Yep. Is he in your thoughts for tomorrow, and how's he in terms of mentally going into this match having missed those last couple of games?
Yeah, Anthony's good. Of course he's in my thoughts. He's an outstanding player, and you can't have enough of those, so we'll look to utilise him. Whether we think that's from the start of the game, well, let's wait and see. But I think he brings a pace to our forward line, a directness that you always need. I think it's an important season for him in his career, and we're looking forward to helping him reach his very highest levels if we can.
Thanks, Chris. Third row from the back. Yes.
Buenas tardes, le recuerda Raku. Mañana no va a jugar Lamine Yamal. ¿Esto os beneficia? ¿Crees que el Barça es menos peligroso sin el joven jugador?
Yeah, I think I had this question on Saturday night, and for me it's a shame he's not playing. Disappointed that we don't get to see him at his best and playing in the game. But whoever they play, they've got real pace in wide areas. We know that they've got international players that will challenge us in different ways. So I think structurally our team performance has got to be really strong. I think we've got to defend well in wide areas. So we're looking forward to that battle.
Just off to the left. Yeah.
Hi, Eddie. Just a reflective sort of question. You spoke about the magical feel and the special moment where it is. Just a few years ago when you came in, you were in a relegation battle and now you're hosting
What moment in this whole journey stands out to you as the biggest turning point in changing the mentality of the club, the team?
I don't think there was one moment that I ever necessarily thought that. I think it's a very gradual process we went through from staying in the league initially. We knew that was a big moment for us in terms of the speed of our rise as a football club, because to do that in the Championship is very, very difficult. There's no guarantee you're going to get out of that league anyway. It's so competitive. So staying in it firstly was huge, and then the togetherness that we were able to build and the speed of our unity was fundamentally vital. And I just think we've grown in confidence as we've gone through the seasons. But progression is very difficult, and to keep that progression at the speed that we've had is probably our biggest challenge that we face.
Okay, we've got to Martin, then Lee and Craig, please. Martin.
Eddie, a lot of people spoke about the 1997 game, which was a magical night, and 2 years ago against PSG, it was another magical night. For the development of the club, though, is it important that you progress beyond just these isolated incidents, getting to the group stage maybe this time, to build on what you've done?
Yeah, I think that's the challenge that we're looking to take on, because yes, we want magical nights, we want those moments that everyone remembers. The iconic games are great, but we also want consistent results. We want both. You want everything. So I'm sure during this Champions League season, we'll have games where maybe we don't perform as well, but we've got to try and find a way, even in those moments, of generating positive results that hopefully can carry us through.
Thank you. Lee.
Eddie, Anthony Elanga has been on the bench recently. How far away are you to getting back to that player who devastated defences last season? And have you had a few difficult conversations with him as well?
No difficult conversations with him. I think he's in a good place. I've been really pleased with how he's integrated himself into the group, how he's committed to the training that we've asked him to do. He's got standout qualities and attributes that we need. Again, similar to Anthony, he's got that outstanding pace and directness. He's going through a process where he's trying to understand everything that's required of him here, which is very different to what was required of him at his former club, which he did really, really well last season, obviously in a slightly different style. So that acclimatisation will take a period. But I think he's well on the way to doing that, and I'm delighted with him.
Thanks, Craig.
Eddie, it's two questions in one, but they are related. First of all, what do you think of the new expanded format? It's your first time in it. Is that less jeopardy? Is it easier to get through? And the second part of that is, regardless of that, how important is it for players already here, because you saw what happened with Alex, that you do make those latter stages to send that message, not just to the outside world, but to those in your dressing room?
Yeah, I mean, I like the format. I think more games is good for us. I think we're learning as a team, and we're adapting to the competition. So I think the more we can face the competition, I think the better we will become. Ultimately, feel more comfortable in the environment. Whether it's easier to qualify or not, I don't know. I mean, that remains to be seen in terms of our strength and how well we do. But certainly there's benefits all across the board in terms of reaching firstly qualifying from the original groups, our original first target. So there'll be many benefits to that, financial, of course, and as you say, showing the squad that we're strong enough. But I always say in response to those questions, the players have to show that they're good enough to play at this level, and they're excelling at the level. Playing isn't good enough. It's we need players to excel and to do very well.
Adam, just in behind.
We understand that at this level you can't look beyond the next game, but would it be fair to assume that you spent part of the international break focusing tactically on this game as well as the Wolves at the weekend?
Yeah, I think planning and looking ahead is key, I think, in my role. So the international break was a busy one for me, a lot of watching of future opponents to make sure that you're not then preparing the next game in 2 or 3 days. You've got a foresight that you need to either pick a team or change tactically. It's very difficult to do that on the spot. So yeah, feel we're quite good now at doing that. So yeah, a lot of football was watched.
Thank you. The gentleman in the middle.
Sí. Hola. Le quería preguntar, teniendo en cuenta los partidos que ha podido ver del Barcelona esta temporada, ¿qué es lo que más le preocupa del juego del Barcelona? ¿Qué cree que es lo que tiene que vigilar más su equipo del estilo y de la manera como juega el Barcelona?
I think, well, firstly, a very good technical team, very good possession. In possession, very comfortable on the ball. All their players look at ease in that respect. And as I said earlier, a lot of pace in wide areas, a lot of goals. You saw in their last game, they're free scoring, started the season very well. So I think all of those things lead to us having to defend very well. So our off-the-ball game plan's got to be very strong. We've started the season really well defensively. So a continuation of that is going to be needed.
You mentioned Sir Bobby at the weekend. Have you tapped into those links ahead of this game with the players, and how determined are you to create your own history?
Yeah, well, I haven't necessarily gone to that area yet. I think there's still time. I think for me it's mostly been about so far that just the actual game and the tactical viewpoint and making sure we're prepared. But certainly psychologically, when we go into that area, that might be something I use.
Barcelona are a club with a certain historical aura. Do you think that Newcastle United is starting to develop their own with winning a trophy and the way that you've played the last 3 years?
Yeah, I hope so. I think that's important for us to try and build that. That's never the intention. That will be the result of what you deliver. But I think whoever plays us hopefully will know that they're in for a very competitive game. They're up against a team that will commit everything physically. And we play with a lot of heart and spirit. So I think that they're the qualities that we're going to need regardless of who our opponents are.
Eddie, how much of a risk, if any, do you think it would be to ask Nick Volkemade to play 3 games in a week at the moment, just given A, he's already just arrived and obviously he did have the cramp at the weekend, and B, for Bournemouth, you'll have no Johan Bissett, you'll have no Anthony Gordon.
Yeah, we're trying to take everything into consideration when we're picking the teams at the moment. We're having an eye on the future, as in future games, to make sure that whatever team we pick is balanced. The priority is to always win the next game. But we're, of course, looking ahead to who we have available, with future games in mind. So, team selections aren't always straightforward. I think there's a lot that goes into it.
We'll take a few more. We'll start with Louise. We've got Gary, Dominic. Louise?
Hi, Eddie.
Hi.
Do you feel that you're quite similar to Hansi Flick in the sense that you're both quite hybrid and willing to change styles? I mean, he was called Flicky Fucko when he was in Germany and things round. I mean, do you feel this?
I don't know in a sense of comparing styles. I think he has a clear vision of how he wants his teams to play, and I admire how they play, and I think he's had a brilliant career, so certainly a coach that I've got a lot of respect for. I think we will try and look at every game individually and try and pick a plan, whether that's on the ball or off the ball, to try and win the match, while also sticking to a philosophy and a principle of play that we believe in. We've never veered from that too far, Jason and I, throughout our management career, so we'll continue with that theme and that vein. We look at every game in depth and try and find a way to win.
Thanks, Louise. Gary?
Hi, Eddie. I noticed from the pictures this morning at training, today's music, DJ Bruno. Can you just explain what that is? Is that something new this season? Is it different player each day? What's the idea behind it?
No, that's been there for a while. I think we allow the players and staff members, I haven't had my go yet, to bring their music of choice to the warm-up. Certainly the lads won't, I think, like what I bring, but hopefully that comes around soon. So today it was Bruno's, and it wasn't too bad. It had obviously a Brazilian flavour to it, and it's nice to hear the lads' music of choice.
Thank you. We'll go Dominic and then we'll finish on Jordan, please.
Hi Eddie, is there any update on Johan Wissam when we could expect to see him back now?
Yeah, Johan will, we hope, be back after the next international break. So that's the plan. Off the top of my head, is it Brighton? I think is the first game. So that can always change, and it's always flexible. But I think that's what I've been told.
Okay, I'm going to take one from the gentleman in the blue, right in the back, please. Yeah. That's you.
Me gustaría saber qué jugador, sacando a Lamine Yamal, que ya no va a poder estar, sacando a Lamine Yamal que no va a poder estar, si a usted le dijeran qué jugador del Barcelona puede incorporar a su equipo, de los que van a estar mañana, ¿cuál elegiría?
Well, I think that's a tough one. I always think with those questions, I'm probably better off not giving you a direct answer. I think they've got many good players. I think it's difficult to pick one out.